and we did IID for simply supported beam, right? And then I think we did IID influence line diagram for a cantilever beam also, but it was half done, or I don't remember, or you must have forgotten by now. So I will just briefly explain influence line diagram for a cantilever beam once again. So cantilever beam, something like this, and say you apply a 1 kilonewton. We have to draw the influence line diagram in case of a cantilever beam and get the moment and the shear force. Okay, so we will apply the 1 kilonewton load here, and wherever the load is applied, that distance from this free end is x for it. Okay, and let us mark a point C for which we have to draw the influence line diagram at point C. This distance will be called as Z, right? And the total span of your beam, cantilever beam, is called as L. So even in simply supported beam, we have seen wherever the point load is acting, that distance is called as X. And the influence line diagram I want to obtain at a point C, it would be that distance would be Z. Then you have A, you have B, and this is your C. So when we were doing for a simply supported beam, for this I had to find the reactions. But in a cantilever beam, we don't go ahead with reactions. We directly start drawing for shear force and bending moment. So we'll do for two cases, that is shear force at A and bending moment at A, and shear force at C, and bending moment at C. Okay, these 2 points. Here, this is a free end, so we are not considering. We are trying to get the shear force at this value and bending moment at this value, and shear force at this value and bending moment at this value. First, when I'm calculating or when I want to draw IID for the shear force at point A, okay? A is which is your fixed support. So when I want to write the shear force diagram for A, I have unit load acting. So when we see the shear force sign convention, positive, negative, positive, negative. So when we are doing this, upward forces, if I'm starting from right side of the beam, are negative and downward forces are positive. And in case of the cantilever, I have to start from the right side of the beam because left side is a fixed. So when I start from this end, I have a downward force which is coming, which is positive. So shear force at A would be this downward force only, no, 1. Everywhere throughout it is going to be same. This 1, if I put x equal to 0, it is here 1, and x equal to L means it is going to be here. So what is the shear force diagram in this case? This is your beam, okay, and it is going to be unity with positive sign. Why positive sign? Because downward forces from right side of the beam are positive, positive of 1 kilonewton. So this is your IID for shear force at A, which is shear force, or you can write FA equal to 1. Okay, so this is the shear force diagram or IID for shear force total at point A. This is the diagram. Next, we will try to draw the IID influence line diagram for the moment at A, bending moment at A. So when I want to draw the bending moment at A, first let us write the equation for bending moment. What is the equation for bending moment? When I'm writing moment at A, tell me the cantilever beam is going to hog or sag?
Hog.
Hog or sag?
Hog.
Hog. So I will have a negative. First, I will put the sign. So cantilever beam is going to bend like this, which is going to be hogging, so minus. And when I write the moment, what is the moment? Force into its perpendicular distance. So look at this. If this is x, where 1 kilonewton is acting, what is the remaining distance from here to here? L minus x. Total is L. This is x. This is going to be L minus x. So when I'm writing moment at A, it is force into this distance. Like this it goes. So force into this distance. So how I'll write? Minus 1 is your force into L minus x. Okay. So this is your equation. So this bending moment, I'll have two conditions. When x is 0 and when x is L. This x will vary, no? X is a variable. So x is 0 and x equal to L means I will get the two values of bending moment. So bending moment when x is 0 becomes what? MA would be 1 into L minus 0, means it becomes minus L, right? This is minus 1. So as good as minus L plus X this was. When I put X equal to 0, value would be minus L. Then X is equal to L. So L minus L is 0. So what happens to moment at A? It is 0. Correct? So when this is 0 now, how will I draw? Look, X has started here. So I'll have X equal to 0 at this junction and X equal to L at this junction now. First, you'll be clear with where to put X equal to 0 and X equal to L. Because X is here now, it is going like this. So X is 0 is here, X equal to L is here. And when X is equal to 0, what is the moment? It is minus L. And when X is equal to L, what is the moment? It is 0, like this. Okay, and it goes into negative. So what is this? This is the influence line diagram for moment at A. I wrote the equation for moment at A, and this is IID. You will write it as IID for moment at A, like this. Okay, next. So we drew a shear force and a moment at A point. Right. And next, let us try for shear force and bending moment at point C. This is the point C. I have to draw it this point. So I'll write next shear force at C, point C. So when we are writing shear force at point C now, I will have two conditions. The C point can be within this or after this. That is how I write the conditions. X is less than Z and X is greater than Z. Right? We have done this in even that case. So X is less than Z means whatever I have drawn. X is greater than Z means this was here 1 kilonewton. Okay, so that are the two cases. Now, when X is say less than Z, what happens to shear force at C? In this diagram now. Okay, the same diagram, or I will put the diagram once again here because I'll have to keep flipping the board or else. This is B. This is a cantilever. This is the point C. This is 1. Okay, this is X and this is your Z. Right? I have to calculate the shear force at this now. And condition is X is less than Z, meaning the same diagram. But now when X is less than Z, so this 1 kilonewton, I'm coming from B coming, I get a 1 kilonewton, then I go till here, it will be 1 only, right? There is no change. So what happens to shear force at C? Can anyone tell me what will be the value?
1.
1 only. Because B it is 0, no load, no load, no load, no load. At this point, at some distance X, shear force value has become 1 now. Okay, so from here onwards it will be 1, 1, 1, 1. At C it is going to be 1 only. So shear force is going to be 1, and that also it is plus 1. Why? Because downward forces when I start from right side is positive. When X is greater than C, meaning the diagram will become like this now. My sketch pens, no. Okay, this is B, and this is your point C. X is greater than C means this is X now. Sorry, and this is Z. X is greater than Z means the one force, 1 Newton force has gone beyond C now. So when I start from here, now tell me shear force at C. I start from here, no load, no load, no load, no load, no load. Then somewhere here it is becoming 1. So what is the shear force at C?
0.
Okay, so shear force at this junction becomes equal to 0. So based on this, let us draw the shear force diagram for this case, that is shear force at C. It is like this. And for C, it is 1. We'll take only one condition and we'll draw that too. It is going to be positive. Okay, so this is for C. Next, this 0 no need to show, only 1 we will show. Next, I have to draw IID for bending moment at C. Okay, now looking into this, this is my X, this is the Z. If I want to write the moment equation at C, how I'll write moment at C? It is going to be 1 into this distance. First of all, it is going to hog, so minus will come. Then it is going to be 1 into this distance. What is this distance power? X, Z minus X. This remaining distance is going to be what? Z minus X. That is 1 into Z minus X. So minus of 1 into Z minus X is your equation for moment at C. Now here, x will vary from what? X will vary from 0 to x will vary at Z, not L. Okay, because I am interested in this entity, Z, not in quantity, entity. So x will vary from 0 to Z. So x equal to 0 and x equal to Z. So what happens to moment? So when x is 0, moment becomes minus Z. This is 0 and this becomes minus 1 into Z, so minus Z. And when x is equal to Z, Z minus Z is 0. So moment becomes equal to 0. So how do we draw the diagram? So this is your B, this is your A, this is your C point. So at x equal to 0 and this is x equal to Z. So x equal to, what did I do? X equal to 0, moment value is minus Z, and at x equal to Z, moment is 0. So this is your negative bending moment diagram. So this is the ILD for moment at C with that unit load. Okay, this is shear force at C with the unit load, and these two are moment and shear force at point A because of the unit load. Right. So this we had done last class also. This also is fine. Right. So we did two standard cases. That is, one was simply supported beam with point load, right? And this is the second standard case with a cantilever beam. What I do, I take up numerical now with simply supported beams, okay? And then when we go to the next type of standard case, that time I will take the derivation of the standard case, okay? So let us take the first example for the day. Determine the reactions. So we have to find the reactions RA and RB, okay? And shear force at C. I'll also find the maximum bending moment at C by using the influence line diagram for the beam loaded, for the beam shown below. Okay, we have to find the reactions, shear force, and the maximum bending moment at a point C. Okay, using the influence line diagrams. So we will not draw as in the influence line diagram here. You want to use the influence line diagram of that of a standard case. The diagram goes like this. So you have a simply supported beam. This is A, this is B, okay? And then this total is 20 meter span. The span is given as 20 meter. And at 7 meters from A, here, you have a point load of 100 kilonewton. This is 7 meters. Okay, 7 meters and 100 kilonewton. This is how it is. This is your point C. So this is C, this is A, and this is B. This is the diagram that is given to us. Total span is 20 L and load given is 100 kilonewton. So for this B, we have to find the reactions, and then the maximum bending moment and shear force, everything has to be calculated. So first, when we start solving this, I will first find ILD for reaction RA. I want to calculate the RA using the influence line diagram. Okay, so how do we start? So first, let us consider a unit load at point C. So instead of this 100, I will consider, don't draw this, observe, this is B, this is A. I will consider a unit load like this, 0.1. Let us consider. So let us consider a unit load at point C. Okay, so there is a unit load at point C. Then when I want to find the reactions, if I want to find reaction RB, I take RA equal to 0. No, I take RA equal to 0. That's why RB into this we will write. And if I want to find RA, then I take moment at this end as 0 because I get RA into. So when I'm telling that I want to find the reaction A, RA, that means I have to take MB equal to 0. Moment of all the forces about B equal to 0. So when I'm doing that, so this is your RA, this is your RB, this is 7, and this is 1. Keep it as it is, okay? So tell me the moment equation for B. I'll have RA into total span, that is 20, minus, correct? minus 1 into, what is this going to be? 13, right? That is L minus X. But now let us not substitute this 7 and 13. What we will do is we will assume that this is X and this is L minus X, standard case, right? So what I'll write, moment at B is total is 20. Let total 20 be coming into picture, minus 1 into 20 minus X is equal to 0. Because this X I will not fix. Let this total be 20. This X I will not fix. Okay. So 1 into 20 minus X is equal to 0. From here, what is the RA value? It is going to be 20 minus X divided by 20. Correct? The reaction A is going to be 20 minus X divided by 20. Now this, I can get the value of RA for 3 points. What 3 points? One at X equal to 0, next at X equal to 7, and third when X is equal to 20. So let us find it like that, right? With this now, I will write at X equal to 0, at X equal to 7, and X equal to 20, we have to find the value of RA. So what happens to the value of RA? So X equal to 0. 20 minus 0 by 20. What is value of RA? RA is equal to 1. Correct? 20 minus, or you want me to write the entire thing? RA is equal to 20 minus 0 divided by 20. That makes RA equal to 1. At X equal to 7, RA would be 20 minus, 20 minus 7 divided by 20. That is 13 divided by 20 would be how much? 0.65. Okay. So at X equal to 7, the reaction RA value is 0.65. Third one, RA here would be 20 minus 20 divided by 20. That makes it 0. So I have the values. At X equal to 0, it is 1. At X equal to 7, it is 0.65. And at X equal to 20, it is 0. So these are your values. So if I draw accordingly, ILD for RA, okay, in this pattern. So X equal to 0 first. What is the value of RA? It is 1. Okay. For X equal to 7, it became 0.65 and here it is 0. Your influence line diagram is like this. And this value is 0.65. Okay. And from this, if I want to now calculate the actual reaction RA, it is calculated as, formula is the load into the ILD value, okay, of ordinate. What is ordinate? Ordinate means this distance. Abscissa is your X values. X values are always your abscissa values and ordinates are your Y values. So if I want to calculate the RA value with respect to this at point C, then load into the ILD value of the ordinate, meaning load was what at this point in reality? It is 100 kilonewton. So load is 100 kilonewton into ILD value is 0.65. So the reaction at A is going to be 65 kilonewtons. Okay, I hope this is clear. You want me to explain once again? I'll do once again. The beam is given to you. We want to find the ILD for reaction RA. We have to draw the influence line diagram for reaction RA. So what we will do, we'll consider the same beam and instead of 100 kilonewton, I will put one unit load, 1 Newton. And instead of placing it at 7, I will place it at a distance X. So remaining distance would be L minus X. The total span is 20 here now. Okay. I am drawing for RA. So MB equal to 0 and write the equation for moment at B. So when I'm taking moment at B, RA into 20 minus 1 into 20 minus X. This is your equation. From here, I get a condition for RA, which is 20 minus X divided by 20. Now for this, I will find the value of RA at 3 points. That is at X equal to 0, at X equal to 7, and at X equal to 20. And get the values of RAs. That is 1, 0.65 and 0. And plot that. So this is your influence line diagram for RA. This is for RA alone. Okay, we have to do still for RB. And if I want to calculate that value of RA, that is the reaction of RA, it is calculated as the external load that is present on the beam that they have given us. that load into the IID's ordinate value, what you have got over here. So from here, we have found that IID is 0.65, external load is 100. So 100 into 0.65, 65 kilonewton. If you check by your regular procedure of summation f of x and summation f of y and moment, you will get RA value as 65 only. Okay, so this is about IID for RA. On the same lines, let us do for RB. Let's see. So next, this is for RA. We will do for RB. How do we start? We will write it as influence line diagram for reaction at B. So IID influence line diagram for reaction RB. So what is your first step? What you will be doing? You will be assuming again that beam. Okay, same RA, RB, and this I will be 1. This distance is x, right? And this distance is 20, and remaining this would be 20 minus x, right? Now, if I want RB, where do I take moments? Summation M A equal to 0, right? If I want to find RB, I will take moment at this junction equal to 0. Okay, unmute and tell me how do I take moment at A equal to 0? Equations tell me.
1 into x.
1 into x with a plus sign or minus sign.
Minus.
Yes, next. 1 into x is minus, sir. 1 into x goes like this clockwise. Plus 1 into x and what? RB
Minus
into
RB into 20.
minus RB into 20 equal to 0. So 1, what I wrote? 1 into x, no, sorry. 1 minus x. 1 into x minus RB into 20 equal to 0. So this is x is equal to 20 times of RB, or RB is what? X divided by 20. Correct? Now for this also, I will write at x equal to 0, at x equal to 7, and at x equal to 20. I have to get the 3 values. So start writing. So RB value here. X is 0 andre 0 by 20. That makes it 0. Right? X is 7 andre 7 by 20. What is the value of 7 divided by 20? 0.35.
Yeah.
Yeah. And at x equal to 20 andre 20 by 20, it is equal to 1. Right? So when I draw this now, IID diagram, okay, here, right, at x equal to 0, I got a value of RB as 0. At x equal to 7, here, I got a value of 0.35. This is 0.35. And at x equal to 20, I'm getting a value of 1. It's like this. Okay. So, this is 0.35, this is 0, and this is 1. So this is what? Influence line diagram for RB reaction. Okay, influence line diagram for reaction RB this is now. Now if I want to calculate RB, how I calculate? It is the external load into the ordinate of IID diagram. Ordinate, or you can write it as IID value of the ordinate, anyhow. So load is given as 100, and what is the ordinate here? It is 0.3. That makes it 35 kilonewton. So reaction at B is 35 kilonewton, and it is correct also. Earlier you got 60. So external load is 100 minus 65. When I do, I will get a value of 35 remainder. Right? So now RB IID diagram is this, and RA and RB value you found using the IID diagram, not your summation x and summation of y. You obtained these values by the IID diagram, right? Next, we have to calculate, these both are what? Reactions. Next, we have to calculate what? The shear force at C, and then the maximum moment and all, right? Next, I hope this part is clear. We have to draw the IID for shear force at point C. Okay, so when we are drawing the shear force at C, how do we calculate now? Generally, general will calculate. Okay, forget this. I know that RA is 65, RB is 35. If I'm drawing shear force at this direction, how you get the shear force? So you will calculate shear force at A. What is the shear force at A? Please tell me. Strength of materials. I'm not asking ILD. I'm asking strength of materials say shear force now. What is the shear force at A? Come on. What is the shear force at A? Sign convention is like this. Plus minus plus
65.
RB minus 100.
No, minus 100. I'm talking of A. Means here. I'm starting from left side, so upward forces are positive and downward are negative. So when I come to point A, only this force is there. That is upward reaction with 65. So 65 kilonewton is your shear force at A. Shear force at C towards the left at this point. I'm talking of general shear force bending moment diagram. At this point, what is the value? It is here it is 65. It is going like this 65, 65, 65 till here also it is 65 only, no? Till the point 100 comes. So towards the left also it is 65. Shear force at C towards the right of this, what happens? It was 65 going straight and then came a downward force. So downward forces are negative. So minus 100. What is the remainder? Minus 35 kilonewton. And here it became minus 35. It goes like this, like this, like this, minus 35. And shear force at B would be, I already have a minus 35 and RB gets added to it, which is 35. Hence it becomes 0. So when you draw the shear force diagram, this is not ILD, I'm talking of shear force. You draw as 65. There was no load till here, it was 65. Here at C point 100 came into picture, so it went down to minus 35. Okay, this was 65. And then again there was no load till here. And then here this RB upward force is 35, so it came and joined over here. So this value is minus 35. This value is 65. Correct? This is how you draw the shear force diagram. Agree? So when I'm talking at point C, this is your pattern. So you have your RA and you have your RB. Together they are making your 100 kilonewtons. Right? Now the same thing when I'm drawing in terms of your ILD. Okay? How is your ILD? I erased it, but I will draw it here. ILD at A, you drew it like this. Correct? And you got a 65 here, 0.65. And ILD at B, you drew it like this with 0.35. And I know that this 0.35 ILD at B has to go into negative. So if I draw one diagram now, keeping this as point, this is 1. This was your 6.65. And ILD at B, here it was 1. And this goes like this. This is 1. So remaining is 0.35. So overall, total is what? Total is 1 only. That is 6.65 plus 0.35 is 1 only. The top one is ILD at A, the bottom one is ILD at B. Provided ILD at B, I drew it like this because I was drawing it individually. But in reality, it is going to be negative only. No, we are aware of from the basics of SOM. It is going to be like this. So this is that one which is transferring 1 Newton or 1 unit load, which is moving like this. So this is the shear force diagram like, or shear force at C I have to calculate. Now, when I calculate shear force at C, if I want to calculate theoretically, what is the formula? Like how I did formula for RA, it is nothing but your load into ILD value at ordinate. This is your formula. So let us calculate. So at point C, I have how many ordinates? I have one ordinate which is positive of 0.65 and I have one ordinate which is negative of 0.65. So both of them have to be accounted. So I have a load of 100 kilonewton into 0.65 which is positive. Okay. And I have a load of 100 kilonewton again into I have an ordinate of minus 0.35. Okay, calculate this. This is going to be 65 minus 35. How much? 30 kilonewtons. So this is your shear force at C. Okay, shear force at C, 30 kilonewtons based on this formula, load into ILD value of the ordinate, right? So 100 into positive 0.65, that is this part, and 100 into, the both have to be accounted, no, two ordinates are there. So minus 0.35, right? So this is shear force at C, that is 30 kilonewtons, and then maximum positive shear force if I want to calculate. Means what is the maximum value of the shear force which is positive in sign convention is going to be again load into the positive ordinate. So it is load into the ILD ordinate, okay, which is a positive value. So load is 100 into this is 0.65. So that makes it 65 kilonewton. That is the maximum shear force, right? And similarly, if I want to calculate the maximum negative shear force, again it is load into ILD ordinate, which is negative value. So load is 100 and negative value is 0.35 minus 0.35. So that is 35 kilonewton. So minus you can write. So 35 kilonewton or minus 35 kilonewton is the maximum negative shear force that is going to be put up into the beam. Okay. So this is about shear force diagram and the shear force of the ordinate. Is this clear? You will not draw this. This I did it to make you understand. You can draw this, okay, and you will be solving for this. This you will not write. You will write from here. Okay. So this is about shear force, and then we have bending moment. Next, we have to write for bending moment. So bending moment, how do you write? ILD for bending moment. We have to write ILD for bending moment. Now, I erase the diagram. You've got a 65, you've got a 35, and here you've got a 100. This is 7. Okay. So when I'm writing bending moment now, bending moment at C, if I want to calculate, okay, what is the formula for bending moment at C? From your simply supported beam with UD, I mean, with a single point load you had done, no? So the value or the bending moment formula is AB by L, AB by L, where this is your A, this is B, and entire is L. Okay, AB by L is not, I'm not talking of WAB by L. AB by L, or it is WAB by L only, where W is equal to 1. That's why it has become AB by L. This we have derived for our, if you check your notes, you'll get to know. So AB by L we have got. Okay, so based on this, when I substitute, I know that A value is 7, B value is 13. So 7 into 13 divided by 20. What is this value, please?
4.5.
4.55 kilonewton meter it is. Bending moment is always kilonewton meter, right? So 4.55 kilonewton meter is with a unit load, WAB, where W equal to 1. Therefore, with our present case, with 100 kilonewton, if I want to calculate, bending moment at C is going to be equal to the load into AB by L, what value we have got. Okay, that makes it 100 into 4.55, nothing but 455 kilonewton meter. This is the direct value of bending moment at C, 455 kilonewton meter. Okay, using your AB by L for unit load. So this is your bending moment, or the bending moment at point C, because they've asked for point C. How will be the diagram? This. This is your AB by L actually, which is now we got it as 455 kilonewton meter. Okay. Now, also apart from this, they had asked us for the absolute maximum bending moment value. So I'll write absolute maximum bending moment if I want to calculate. So when do you get this absolute bending moment of maximum bending moment? I have to consider for when the load is at the center. I am aware that in a point load, whenever we are dealing, when the load is at the center, P, I will get the maximum bending moment at this point. Correct? Not here, there. So when I will assume now to get maximum bending moment, the load will be at center. The load will be at the center. So if load is at center, what are your dimensions? What dimensions are A and B? In our case, what is the value of A and what is the value of B?
10.
Yes. Center means your AB value will be 10 and 10. In that case, moment or bending moment at center, when I'm calculating, your A value equal to 10 and B value equal to 10, right? So it is AB by L, that is 10 into 10 divided by 20. How much? It becomes 5. 5 kilonewton meter, right? Or maximum bending moment would be load into this AB by L, that is 100 into 5, that makes it 500 kilonewton meter. So the maximum bending moment is 500 kilonewton meter. First, we do bending moment at C with A equal to 7, B equal to 30. Okay, we got 455 kilonewton. Also, apart from this, he has asked us what would be the maximum bending moment. So, in case of a simply supported beam with a point load, usually the maximum bending moment will occur when the point load is at the center. We are aware of this, right? So, with keeping that in mind, if the maximum load is at, bending moment is maximum at the center, the value of A and B will become 10 and 10. So, AB by L becomes 5. And when I substitute for the value of maximum bending moment, it is load into AB by L, that is 100 into 5, that makes it 500 kilonewtons meter. Am I clear? Any doubts with this?